In this yoga session, we are going to focus on opening our chest with different poses. These openers are great to stretch the chest and the front shoulders, also to extend the upper part of the back and develop better spine mobility. All this will help to counteract the long hours sitting and get a better posture. Start the session kneeling in Thunderbolt pose. Slowly change to table pose, placing your knees under the hips and the wrists under the shoulders. Keep the spine aligned. From here, inhale and extend your spine. Move your shoulders away from your neck and open your chest. Look at the wall in front of you or even at the ceiling if you can. Keep your elbows straight all the time. Hold cow pose for 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Move to table pose again and immediately pass to high plank pose by extending your legs and placing your feet at the end of the mat. Slowly lie down in prone position to prepare for Sphynx pose. Place your hands in front of you, touch the mat with your whole palm and also with your forearms. Keep your elbows under your shoulders and extend your spine as much as you can and feel comfortable. Maintain the extension of the spine while you breathe steadily and open your chest and shoulders slightly. Squeeze with your glutes and be sure you're activating your lumbar muscles. Do this pose for 20 to 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Change to Cobra Pose by placing your hands on the sides of your head. Your forearms will be on the ground too, and your elbows will be slightly behind the line of your shoulders. Slowly extend your spine by activating your lumbar muscles and glutes. You have to press with your hands but just slightly. Do not use too much strength with your arms. Extend your elbows totally if you can. Open the chest and shoulders and gaze forward. If you feel comfortable on your lower back, try to extend your spine even more and look upward. Never feel pain in your lower back. A slight discomfort is fine. Do this pose for 20 to 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Change to Crocodile Pose I. Place one hand on the other and your forehead over the hands. Breathe steadily and focus on releasing tension on your lower back every time you exhale. Hold Crocodile Pose for 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Move your arms towards the sides of your body. Keep the elbows straight and put the anterior part of your hands on the mat next to your legs. Inhale, lift your arms and also your head with an extension of your spine. Elongate the back of your neck but don't extend it too much. Keep your eyes on the mat. Activate your glutes and lumbar muscles to protect your lower back. Don't hold your breath. Be sure you're in a position where you can breathe steadily. Never feel pain. Slight discomfort is fine. Keep your legs on the floor and open your chest and shoulders as much as you can. Hold this pose for 20 to 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Change to Crocodile Pose I. Hold this pose for 30 seconds. Now we are going to repeat all the steps for half Locust Pose. But we are going to add the extension of the hips by lifting our legs from the mat at the same time that we lift the upper body. Keep your knees straight, engage your quads, and point with your toes. Your pelvis and lower abs should stabilize your body on the floor. Avoid holding your breath. Try to breathe steadily during the pose. Hold this pose for 20 to 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Change to Crocodile Pose I. Hold this pose for 20 to 30 seconds. Move to Sphynx pose for a few seconds to prepare for half bow pose. Bend your right knee and grasp the outside of your ankle with your right hand. Inhale and pull with your arm, trying to lift your leg as much as possible. Maintain your chest open and feel the stretch on your pectoral muscles and anterior deltoids. Keep your glutes and lumbar muscles engaged. Use your left hand and forearm as support. Avoid holding your breath. Breathe steadily. If you don't have enough flexibility to reach your leg, you can use elastic band to make it possible. Hold this pose for 20 to 30 seconds. Change to Sphynx pose for a few seconds and repeat half bow pose with the opposite leg and arm for around 20 to 30 seconds. Change to Crocodile Pose I and hold for 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Place your arms by your sides and your palms facing towards the ceiling. Bend your knees and grab the external part of your ankles with your hands. Keep your elbows straight. Inhale and lift your chest off the floor. At the same time, lift your thighs as high as possible by pulling up with your hands. Stabilize the pose using the support of your abdominal muscles. Don't separate your legs too much from each other. Retract your shoulder blades. Keep your glutes and lumbar muscles engaged. Hold this pose for 20 to 30 seconds. Change to Crocodile Pose I and hold the pose for 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Move to Sphynx Pose again. From here, put your toes on the mat first, and then your knees. Slowly move to Child Pose and hold it for a few seconds. Pass to Table Pose and bring your knees together. Sit down over your heels and keep Thunderbolt Pose for a few breaths. Kneel and place your knees under your hips. Keep the thighs perpendicular to the floor. Bring your tailbone towards your pubis. Lift up through your spine. Place your hands over your lower back or gluteus. Your elbows will be slightly bent. Inhale, move your head and upper body backwards by arching your back. Open your chest and push forward with your hips. Exhale, engage your gluteus, elongate your spine, and arch your back as much as you can, but never feel pain during this pose. Look at the ceiling while you hold the pose. This is the first level for camel pose. We will show you the hardest levels in the next minutes. Kneel over the mat and sit down with your gluteus over your heels. Place the hands over your thighs and keep your spine aligned. Inhale while you open your chest slightly and exhale while you relax your shoulders. Move your neck in different directions to release tension. Feel comfortable and keep breathing steadily. This pose is really good to improve your posture. If you have problems on your knees and you cannot kneel, do the same pose with your legs bent in only 90 degrees. Hold this pose for 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Move to the starting position of camel pose. We are going to repeat all the steps of the previous camel pose, but in this occasion, we are going to place our toes on the mat to lift our ankles. After a few seconds in the first level of camel pose, we are going to bring our hands towards the legs and grab the external part of our ankles. Keep your pelvis pressing forwards all the time, your hips over your knees, and lift up with your core muscles. You can extend your neck even more if you are able to do so. Relax your throat. Hold camel pose for 30 seconds. To come out of the pose, contract your abs and bring your hands together like in prayer pose. Repeat Thunderbolt pose and hold for 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Relax and keep breathing steadily. Start with the first level of camel pose and then slowly pass to the level 2 or to the level 3 if you have experience with this pose and it is not hard for you. The main difference between level 2 and level 3 is the position of the feet. On the level 3, the anterior part of our feet will touch the mat, so the ankles will be lower and it will be more difficult to hold the pose. You can even try to hold your heels instead of your ankles to reach even lower. If you rush with this pose and try to reach too low without being ready, you may injure your back. Do not cheat by flexing your knees backwards. Remember to keep your hips over your knees. This is a fantastic pose to strengthen the spine and to stretch the quads, hip flexors, pecs, deltoids, and abs. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. To come out of the pose, contract your abs and bring your hands together like in prayer pose. Repeat Thunderbolt pose and hold the pose for 30 seconds. Sit down, bring your hands behind your body with your fingers pointing backwards. Be sure that your feet are not too near and your heels are under the knees. Press with your feet and slowly lift your pelvis as high as you can while you activate your hamstrings, glutes, and core muscles. Press with your hands and keep your shoulders always over your wrists. Open your chest and shoulders by bringing the shoulder blades together. Feel the stretch on your pecs and deltoids. Keep your elbows straight all the time by contracting the triceps. Maintain a straight line between your shoulders, hips, and knees. Go down slowly and be careful when you move your arms forward. Sit down, bend your knees, and slide your left foot below your right knee and your right foot below your left knee. Keep a neutral position of your spine by lifting up through your vertebrae. Open your chest and relax your shoulders. This is a fantastic pose to rest, open the hips, strengthen the spine, and relieve stress. Hold easy pose for 30 seconds. Repeat reverse tabletop or try a more advanced form of this pose with reverse plank. The main difference between both poses is the position of the feet. In reverse plank, place your feet far from your knees and keep your legs straight when you lift your pelvis. Try to keep the sole of your feet over the mat to increase the stretch of your calves. If you cannot do it, at least aim for it. Squeeze with your glutes and activate your core muscles during the whole pose. Hold for 30 seconds or as long as you can. Slowly go down and repeat easy pose. Be sure that now you have placed the opposite leg below to train both sides. Hold easy pose for 30 seconds. We are now moving to fish pose. Slowly lie down in supine position with your arms by your sides. Lift your hips and place your hands under your glutes. Your palms must face down. Keep your legs straight and point with your toes. Inhale and press the mat with your hands and forearms. Bend slightly your elbows. Lift your chest and head from the floor. Create an arch in your back, tilt your head back and place it on the mat. Be sure that you keep most of your weight on your elbows. Don't do this pose if you have neck problems or injuries. Avoid pushing your weight onto your head and neck. Avoid lifting your hips while you already have created the arch and your head is on the mat. Hold fish pose for 30 seconds or 10 breaths. Be very careful when you go out from the pose. Slowly move your head up and forward while you are removing the arch on your back. Lie down again, separate your legs slightly, turn out your feet. Relax your whole body. Place your arms on the sides with your palms facing up. Keep a space between your arms and torso. Close your eyes. Breathe smoothly and focus on your body. Hold corpse pose for 30 seconds. Repeat fish pose for 30 seconds. Finish this yoga sequence with 5 minutes of relaxation using corpse pose. Release tension from your whole body. Do not forget to keep breathing during this relaxation part of the sequence. Thank you for joining us in this yoga session. I hope you enjoyed it. And please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Until next time, Namaste.